the middle of your screen, you can see he has got power conference size for an offensive lineman.
Absolutely. No, I'm excited to see them. Got a couple state championships in this matchup. We also have, it's going to be Javon, is that Belchford, for the gold team. So Cedar Grove, state champs, Prince Ave, state champs.
Currently 43 degrees as we get set for the kickoff here. We're right about on time, and the wind has died down a little bit. Now 7 miles per hour coming out of the west, so about half as fast as it was blowing earlier in the day, which impacted, kind of offensive strategies in our senior game. Teams were a lot more conservative trying to get vertical and pass the ball down the field when they were having to go into the wind.
Absolutely, and defense has really stood out in all three matchups so far. I think with this one, though, you talked about the offensive line talent for the blue team specifically, but if they can establish nice drives early and open up the playbook, that's going to be huge, because that last one, you mentioned all the sacks. We'll see if the defense has another disruptive performance like that. A guy that I got to shout out before that I've seen play, Ryder Duffy, I think he's going to have a big impact for the blue team at linebacker. He'll be flying around.
Another blue team player that we saw in the Corky Kell Classic. In fact, the second day of the season playing for Cherokee Bluff, Caden Katie Thompson, a two-way player for the Bears, and a guy I was really impressed with. And his coach, Tommy Jones, feels like KT is a college prospect. He hopped over from the gold roster to the blue roster to kind of even things out a little bit late in the week. It'll be interesting to see what kind of impact he has.
Yes, he's a very exciting player, and I actually saw Coach Jones down there in the stands repping that purple Cherokee Bluff right there. But, yeah, I've heard great things from him specifically in practice this week. I think he'll be playing a big role, and as you said, he can play defense and offense.
And Barrett Davis will be the head coach for the blue, and Boo Mitchell will be the head coach for the gold in this junior all-star game.
Yep, Boo Mitchell, he was at North Gwinnett and then went over to Collins Hill this last year, and you saw what Coach Swick did.
And very actively involved in the Gwinnett Football League.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see the strategies of these two teams and how they play this out. Our last game, the senior game, started kind of with a bang as the blue team went on a 70-yard march, 8 minutes, and that was the best offensive possession of the entire game for either team. It kind of went downhill from there. They later scored on a short field after their defense that came up with a whopping 14 sacks, produced a turnover, and gave them a short field. But it was interesting in that it's kind of like they kind of scripted that out. They repped that out. Well, we're going to do this. But then after that, things got a little bit shaky for the offenses, and the defenses dominated in that senior game.
Yeah, and we see, some teams in the varsity programs, you need time to gel as an offensive line unit. Obviously, it's tough in an all-star game, but that was just credit to the defensive tenacity shown in that last game. But we'll see. I think, though, you mentioned the blue team with Jake Athick, Cody Mitchell. I think they're going to be able to handle it, and we'll see some sustained drives.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We'll see how they manage the quarterbacks, too. I think that's also one of the dynamics that you have to take into consideration when you talk about these all-star games. As Rusty Mansell, who, of course, was working the previous game with me, said, the goal is for everybody to play. To everybody play, everybody get, as many snaps as possible. So when you talk about alternating quarterbacks, which is something that almost nobody does, in fact, we think it's unusual when a team does it, that's exactly what you have to do in a game like this.
Yeah, series after series. And I think also in that last game you saw KJ Smith was trying to improvise a little bit. That's also key for the receivers that you haven't played with before, yes, to know how to adapt and get open in those situations.
And I think we saw a little bit of that in that senior game where the timing aspect and these receivers and these quarterbacks, they don't go to 7-on-7s in the summer for nothing. That's where they develop their chemistry and their timing. And the fact that there was a lack of that in the previous game and probably in the games to come would not be a big surprise. So Christian Roundtree going to kick off for the blue. The kicks are not live, so it's fielded, and then they bring the ball out to the 30-yard line. So that's where the Gold's going to start this game. And we'll see who they have at quarterback. Now, they have another interesting possibility at quarterback as well. Antavius Richardson from Greenville High School is listed as an athlete on the roster, so you might see him pop in there a little bit. You could potentially have as many as 4 different quarterbacks, take the ball here for the Gold today. We'll see how they play it. Looks like Brooks Bryan out of Bethlehem Christian is going to be the starter, 6'1", 195 junior. And it's brought to you by the Gwinnett Sheriff's Office. As you take a look at Brooks Bryan taking the first snaps of this game, they're going to line up in the old school I formation. Handoff goes to the tailback, and about a 4-yard gain right off the bat for the Gold.
And that is Tommy Lafayette from Lambert. Really like his play this last season, and he was in our All-Star game a year ago. Played really well. And I think he's going to have a big senior year, but let's watch him today first. I think he's going to have a big impact.
If you check out his Twitter account, it appears that he is in the process and, in fact, already enrolled at North Gwinnett, making the move from Lambert to North Gwinnett. Played a big role in Lambert's season this past year as they finished runner-up to Milton in Region 6, the eventual state champions. Carry right there by... Trying to tell, they got the number crinkled up right there.
I think number 29.
Listed as a linebacker, Tayo Ogundelli. So Ogundelli getting in there and running the ball. Picks up the first down at the 41-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 41.
Now you have Ian Reynolds in at quarterback, so they're moving him in fast.
Yeah, like I said, it's always interesting to see how they do this.
Oh, my bad. No, that was still Brooks.
Ogundelli with the carry again. But it's very interesting to see how they approach this. Do you alternate them every series? Do you alternate them by the quarter? It's rare that you see them alternate them by the play unless, of course, your name's Steve Spurrier. So 2nd down and 10 coming up after the short gain, in fact, no gain by Ogundelli. Bryan back to pass, looking down the sideline for a man caught over the shoulder at the 23-yard line by DJ Avery.
DJ Avery, I saw him make the best play in warm-ups, and then what a catch right there. Does a great job tracking the ball. Gets open, stacks the defender, and a beautiful ball.
Just runs right by the defense. Evan Whalen, the cornerback out of Creekview, let him get behind him, and a big gainer for the Gold. Has it 1st and 10 at the 22.
And you need that beautiful pass on the sideline when you got Tay Harris back there at safety. You want to throw it away from him.
Tay Harris, the highly rated safety out of Cedartown. Handoff right up the middle. And a gain of about 5 on the play. Tommy Lafayette on the run. Tommy Lafayette, 5'11", 190 junior running back. And at Lambert this past year, he started the season at running back. They made a shift after they went through a couple of games where they lacked on offense. They moved him to a wide receiver position. So 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 19-yard line. Bryan to the air, comes to this side and throws incomplete. Ball sails behind Grant Thompson, the talented wide receiver out of North Atlanta. Brings up 3rd down and 5. Line to gain is the 13. Bryan this season, 71 of 105. Close to 67.5%, 984 yards in the air and 13 touchdowns, playing for Bethlehem Christian, which I believe is a GIA school, is it not?
Yep.
does not play in the GHSA. The BSN Sports Red Zone, Brian flushed out of the pocket, and he goes down, quarterback sack. Couple of guys there to get him. Nick Chow out of Pope, number 48 among them.
Tries to step up in the pocket. Not enough time to get anything right there, so looks like a 4th and 9.
I think it was Christian Smith out of Harrison and Nick Chow out of Pope with the quarterback sack, so now it's going to be 4th down. They're going to try a field goal. The wind not as much a factor here as it was in the previous game. Cody Cowan out of Hillgrove on to attempt a 28-yarder. And the kick is going to be good. So Cowan with the 38-yard field goal gives the Gold a 3-0 lead.
Nicely done, our first field goal of the day. Like he had a little hesitation. That's what's tough. It's not the normal routine. These kickers are very routine oriented. You got a new holder. He gets to go right through.
Yeah, well, for one thing, the ball's not snapped. Another, it's not off a tee. It's off the ground and being held NFL style. And a 3-0 lead for the Gold as they get on top early here. So opening 4.5 minutes. Kickoffs are not live in the All-Star game. So they'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. That's where we're going to see the blue team go on offense for the first time today. So it'll be interesting to see who rolls out here at quarterback for the blue. It looks like it's going to be Chance Booknight, the junior out of East Paulding, 5'11", 185. Paulding in his 2-year career has passed for close to 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns. Handoff on the first play. Javen Parker on the carry. Brings up 2nd down and 7. Parker, the running back out of East Paulding, so his teammate. See, they got the little flip chart they can go through. Ball comes out here to the edge and up to the 37-yard line on the catch and run. That was Joshua Folks out of Macon County.
And I've really been impressed with East Paulding. Coach Hirschfield comes over from Walton. He was the OC there. And I was talking to him about just their goals and how his first year there, he didn't really realize how good Hughes and Douglas County were going to be. But he said year 2, they were much more competitive, and they earned a playoff spot out of that tough region. I think they're only going up.
Hughes, of course, the state champions a year ago, and then Douglas County did not lose until Woodward Academy came back and beat them in the semifinals, denied them a spot in the state championship. In fact, I thought Douglas County would be the team that came out of that game. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead on their home field, and Woodward Academy came back and got them. Of course, Thomasville ended up winning the 6A title, defeating Woodward Academy. Got a man down for the Gold. Might be, is that Ethan Johnson? Is that 41?
I think it's 91, Caden Russell.
Yeah, Caden Russell, another East Paulding guy, got hurt on the play. So 1st and 10 as they tend to Russell. Looks like they're checking out his right leg. So you actually have a situation here in this junior game where you have East Paulding players on both rosters.
It looks like they've got several in this game. Seen a lot of Prince Avenue Christian helmets on this one.
Injury report presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety as they help Caden Russell off the field. So 1st and 10 as we get back to business. His teammate Chance Booknight playing quarterback here for the blue team. Bobbled snap, corrals it, going to run it. Booknight scoots to the outside, gets across the 50, and Booknight down the sidelines, finally steps out of bounds. Nice run by Chance Booknight.
Yeah, to bobble the snap and then turn it into that. He made that look very easy, natural runner. He's able just to keep getting outside.
Yeah, Booknight rushed for close to 600 yards this season, in his 2-year career, I should say, and 10 touchdowns. So comes in close to 2,500 total offense yards in his first 2 seasons as the Raiders quarterback. To this side and nearly intercepted. Then the ball comes out. We'll see how they rule that. To me, that's an incomplete pass, and that's exactly what they end up calling it.
I agree with you. It looked like an incomplete. It was close, but looks like he never really gained control of it.
Yeah, nobody has control of it right there unless that's a catch and a strip. We'll see if there's any kind of a challenge to that. That ends up being James McCallum out of West Forsyth, who was able to poke that ball out of there either as an incompletion or a fumble. They rule it as an incompletion. Down to the 35 they go on the short run. And that's Jamarian Pullum out of Adairsville. Got the interesting color combination with the helmet there. Looks kind of like And Roundtree with the kickoff, the non-live kickoff. We're here at Barron Stadium in Rome. This is the fourth of our 5 games today. And the kick is going to drop down at the 4. And the goal team's going to put the ball in play from the 30. So here's Boo Mitchell, the head coach for the Gold, current offensive coordinator at Collins Hill. His 24th season overall as an assistant coach, president of the Gwinnett Football League, as I mentioned, 3rd year as the president, 25 years as a volunteer. And for Vanderbilt Commodores fans, widely regarded as the greatest wide receiver in program history, certainly up until this era, All-American wide receiver for the Commodores.
Yep, he had some great stories about that. He still looks like he's in pretty good shape as well.
So Gold goes to the air, and that's the first pass attempt for Ian Reynolds, who's now in the game. And number 10, Ian Reynolds, the quarterback we were talking about for the Gold out of North Atlanta. Receiving interest from Wake Forest, Tennessee, Duke, and Georgia Tech. Called his game against Houston County in the first round of the state playoffs. I like his raw materials. I think he still has to polish his game a little bit of his decision making, but certainly also a threat in the running game as well. No gain on that play. Big stop by the defense. So Jamari Welch on the carry. You talk about Prince Avenue kids. Kyler Giddens, the outside linebacker from Prince Avenue, in on that tackle. 3rd down. Reynolds being chased out of the pocket. Runs it up to the 32, but not going to be close to the first down, and it's going to be a punting situation for the Gold.
That was a big hit. Is that number 45, Christian Smith, again on that tackle?
He's trailing on the play. So 4th down, Gold going to punt. As Cody Cowan makes his way onto the field, a 38-yard field goal to his credit so far today for the Gold's only points. As we are right at 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Now the punts are much more critical than the kickoffs in that you want to try to catch this in the air. You see, the blue team actually has 3 guys back. You want to make sure you make that catch because that's where the ball's going to be spotted.
Absolutely. You might see some punters try to line drive it. But yeah, if you're a returner, you got to come up and try to prevent any extra yards, especially in this situation.
Cowan looks like he's limping a little bit as you take a look at the Sports Turf Coach's resume for Barrett Davis. Third season as head coach at Evans High School over in the Augusta area. 15th season overall. Spent previous 3 seasons as the head coach at Southeast Bullock. Won 2 region titles and made the playoffs in all 6 seasons as a head coach. I believe they played first round against Woodward Academy, eventual state finalist. Here's the run by Jamarian Pullum. He maybe got a yard on the play. There's the look at the Adairsville helmet.
Oh, nice.
The black with the green tiger stripes. Don't know that I've ever seen the green tiger stripes.
Yeah, that's different.
So you can see the quarterback over here. Well, the wide receivers over here, they're all on the same place. They got little flip charts. They got their armbands. Luke Parker is in there at quarterback, going to dump it off to pull him again. Parker's a local kid, junior quarterback out of Darlington School here in the Rome area.
That was number 30, Caleb Barbas, a nice tackle.
Linebacker out of Centennial, also listed as a running back on the roster today. Brings up 3rd down and 6. Line to gain is the 36. Time out of the pocket, going to throw it up for grabs, however, and nearly intercepted. Looked like his teammate might have broken that up for him. That should have been picked off by Myson Cooper, the safety out of Centennial.
Yeah, he went up. I mean, he showed his vertical skills right there.
Yeah, he's mad. I think a teammate took that away from him inadvertently. And it's 4th down. High kick. And the ball taken at the 32. So this is where the rules of the game, the regulations of the game, maybe work against the kickers a little bit, the punters in that situation. That's a good kick in a regular game. In this game, you want length. Height doesn't really help you because there's no punt coverage team. So you don't have to get down there and make the tackle.
Exactly. You want to almost like rugby bounce it down the sideline.
Yeah. Kick it away from the returner, and exactly like you said, let it bounce. Get a good 15, 20-yard bounce on it. But, you know, these guys are punting. They want to be seen. They want, you know, good punts for their highlight reel, their huddle reel. And so it's hard to break those habits. Lafayette going to get the carry. A nice cutback in the middle as Lafayette runs it up to the 39-yard line.
It's like they got away with a face mask on that one. But, yeah, you see the way Tommy just, as soon as that ball's in his hands, he is explosive. I know you said he played receiver, but he sure looks like a running back.
Yeah, well, he played running back, and then they made the move when they moved some pieces around on offense to try to get things going midway through the season. 7-3 the score as we head to the second here at Barron Stadium with the Blue on top in the Junior All-Star game.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions,
Safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
The Forum River Center in Rome, Georgia is now open and available for meetings and receptions. We're fully equipped for large conventions, sporting events, weddings, and much more. The Forum is located downtown within walking distance of local restaurants, hotels, and boutique shopping. We offer a variety of meeting spaces, many with beautiful river views. Outdoor venues are available for that special touch with our adjacent parking deck and a personal concierge on site. Your event is sure to be a hit. Find out more at forumrivercenter.com.
The BSN Sports Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports. HendrickCars.com. Get no payments for 90 days at HendrickCars.com. Experience the Hendrick difference. The U.S. Army. Be all you can be. And by Georgia's Rome, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin.
Start of the second quarter at Barron Stadium in Rome. Matt Stewart, Craig Sager Jr. and the Blue leading the Gold 7-3 here in the Junior All-Star game. Gold going back on offense and now using their third quarterback of the day. That's Dylan Muhammad out of Norcross, who now checks in. I think that was Ogunlele again, wasn't it? I didn't have him down on my depth chart as a running back. Yeah, I had him as a linebacker. Or was it? I hate when the players roll up their jersey numbers.
Right. I think I saw a Stevenson playoff game. They had the black jerseys with dark blue numbers. I thought of you, Matt.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I've done games where literally I did at basketball games in the state finals where teams showed up with white-on-white numbers, a pencil-thin outline. Wasn't a big fan of that. That's Lafayette on the run. He gets hit in the backfield and driven back. KT Thompson, number 14, the young man out of Cherokee Bluff, finishing off that tackle.
Yeah, really impressive. Who else was in on that? Was that Emmanuel Clark, number 9?
I did not see who was in on that tackle. Yeah, no, Tay Harris is listed officially on that 5-yard loss. So Tay Harris and KD Thompson. So punting situation here for the Gold as the series for Dylan Muhammad lasts just 3 plays. Nice kick, backs him up to the 28. That's where the Blue will go back on offense.
Yep, we saw Ian Reynolds took over the quarterback last series, 3 and out. They forced a 3 and out right here, so the offenses are stalling a little bit, but we'll see who takes it.
I think in a game like this, you're going to anticipate the defense is going to have the advantage.
Yeah, 100%.
Defense is almost always going to have the advantage in an all-star game.
Yeah,
I mean, their job is to read and react. The offense has to come up with a play to beat the defense. Defense just has to react to what the offense does.
Yeah, react and disrupt.
Right. And there is no blitzing, so the pass rush you get's got to come out of your offensive line. Pass thrown to the outside. That's Ethan Long, first time he's been in the game. So both teams have now used all 3 of their quarterbacks on the roster. That was Joshua Folks with his second catch of the game. And Ethan Long now in there at quarterback, the junior, 5'11", 160 out of Dalton. Had himself quite a season for the Catamounts, threw for over 2,800 yards and 31 touchdowns. Run up the middle to the 42. That's going to be Warshaw, who had the 11-yard touchdown catch for the Blue. That was his first carry of the game. Pass to the outside and caught at the 47 and knocked down immediately. That was Folks again on the catch. Going to bring up 3rd down. pardon me, it's going to be second down. They had picked up a first down prior. So ball sitting on the 46. Got to get to the other 48. Pullum with the run, and a big, strong run all the way down to the 39-yard line. Jamarian Pullum with the run. 6'1", 185 junior running back out of Adairsville. Pullum picks up the first down.
Really powerful run right up the middle.
See if we can't give some love to that offensive line here and name some of those guys. Pullum dances outside. Picks up a couple of yards before being dropped at the 39. Maybe just gets back to the line of scrimmage on that play. Pullum comes off the field. And Parker comes on.
So you see Ethan Long, quarterback, he goes out in the perimeter, back-to-back plays, and then the big run right up the middle. They're really making that gold defense go sideline to sideline.
Parker on the cutback in the middle, and Parker down to the 35. Make it more like the 36. Hit the hole fast. That was the third carry of the game for Parker. Puts him up over 15 yards rushing in the game. It's going to be third down and 6. Parker stays in there with Ethan Long at quarterback. Mason Wood snapping the ball. He's the 6'2", 265 center out of Winder Barrow. And Parker up the middle, followed his center right into the hole. It's going to be fourth down, and they've probably got to go about a yard for the first down here.
Yeah, we saw Walker Warshaw just sub back in. He, of course, had the touchdown earlier in the game.
Timeout's been called by the Blue with fourth down and short coming up. I think it's probably going to be more like 4th and 4 here. Looks like they got to get to the 31 or the 30.
Yep, and it was a great play design on the touchdown throw to Walker. He just went back in, so you got to keep your eyes on him out of the backfield.
Scored that touchdown on a wheel route. So Bouknight, 3 of 5 passing, 30 yards. Parker, 2 of 3, 3 yards. Long, 2 of 2, 12 yards. Both of those completions coming on this drive, the first series that he's worked. And Bouknight's also the leading rusher for the Blues so far in this game. 23 yards on a couple of carries. Only 55 yards of total offense for the Gold. The Blue have dominated. There's Warshaw again on an end around, and Warshaw picks up the first down. So they go back to Warshaw again on a big play and pick up the first down on 4th and 4.
Very impressive run. You saw the big contact at the end of it, but he's just showing his speed. He takes the reverse off the pitch and comes up with a big fourth down conversion.
5'8", 155 junior running back out of Mount Vernon. Single A school there in the Atlanta area, and it's going to be 1st and 10. So a big fourth down conversion for Blue as they're looking for their second touchdown here. Long goes to the end zone and underthrows his target, who had beaten his man. Joshua Folks was wide open.
Certainly was. You had Walker Warshaw on that wheel route again, and then he goes over on the post wide open, but he has to adjust, turn around. Would have been a very difficult play, but definitely wide open.
Folks, who's been the top wide receiver in this game for Blue with 3 catches, he was wide open, and Long threw it short. 2nd down and 10. See number 77, big Jake Atha, 6'3", 275 junior, has already been offered by UCF. Back to the other side they go, and incomplete. Tried to run the will route to the other side of the field that time, and Parker couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, they definitely tried to get that misdirection on the short side of the field. A guy that I'm interested in, though, Caden Hansen, the tight end, number 82, Trinity Christian, had a big catch earlier. I think we might see him in this red zone territory come up with a play.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up. Got to get the ball to about the 12-yard line. Blue is 2 of 4 on their 3rd down conversions in this game. Long has time in the pocket, scanning, nobody open, being chased, throws, and caught inside the 15-yard line. What a catch. In traffic, that's Warshaw again, coming up with a huge play.
Absolutely. Really difficult catch in traffic.
This Walker Warshaw has just continued to come up with big plays. So he's not open there. Now what does he do? He just goes to a spot where he can catch the ball. Does it improvised?
Yeah, very well.
That was not his route, but he improvised. So now it's 1st and goal to go. Snap back, goes to the ground. See if he can clear the edge, and he finally gets back to the 10 and still on his feet all the way down to the 3-yard line. Are you kidding me?
This is the longest gain of 4 we've seen all season.
That was Tay Harris, the aforementioned highly sought-after defensive back out of Cedartown, making something out of nothing. In fact, making something out of a negative play right there. He's all the way back to the 20. And he went from one side of the field to the other. Great stiff arm right there. And they get it down to the 2-yard line on a great run by Tay Harris.
That was exciting.
So let's see what they go back to here. In the red zone, presented by BSN Sports. Direct snap goes to Javen Parker. Parker lowers his shoulder and runs into the end zone for the touchdown. It's 13-3. So Parker caps the drive with a 2-yard touchdown run after the improvisation by Tay Harris got him down there.
Yeah, Javen Parker showing his stuff. I'm trying to get the eyes on who that fullback is, the silver helmet, number 91. It's like Jacoby Diamond from Cedartown. Yeah, he paved the way on that one.
So Roundtree will try to cap it off with the PAT. He does no problem. 14-3, Blue on top of Gold with 4 minutes to play here in the half.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Walker Warshaw on that drive.
Well, I would think right now, throwing the stats out the window, maybe even including stats, Warshaw's maybe leading candidate for player of the game right now. He's had, every time he's touched the ball, it's been a clutch play. He's got 2 catches for 19 yards. He's got 2 catches for 25 yards. He's got 2 rushes for 19 yards. I know that doesn't sound spectacular, but every time he's touched the ball, it's been a clutch play, either a touchdown or converting a 4th and long or making a spectacular play when the play had broken down and he just improvised.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to do. A lot of those plays could have really killed that drive, but they're able to keep fighting through it and turn it into something positive. That is a great sign for them. Awesome drive after we've seen a few 3-and-outs in a row.
Here's the kickoff. And they'll bring it out to the 30, and that's where the Gold will go on offense, and now they've got an 11-point deficit to make up. So they've used Brooks Bryan, they've used Ian Reynolds, they've used Dylan Muhammad. Who's going to come out here for this drive? It looks like it's going to be Antavius Richardson, who I mentioned before, the athlete out of Greenville who played quarterback for the Patriots. He's going to get it. So this will be the fourth different quarterback that we've seen run for the Gold. Going to hand off on the first snap. It goes to Lafayette. Lafayette up to the 37-yard line, close to a first down.
See that great burst again, spin moves, breaking tackles. You can't arm tackle him. He's just a good, positive downhill runner.
So second down as Lafayette picks up about 7 on that run. Second down and 3. So Richardson's interesting. He's a track state champion in the 400 meters. Had over 2,000 all-purpose yards this season. First team all-region. Most of his damage at the quarterback position at Greenville was done running the ball. Had twice as many rush yards as he had pass yards, and now he's going to run it. And Richardson gets the first down. You know, in a game like this, a player like Antavius Richardson is so valuable. A guy that you can just snap the ball to and say, go get it.
Yeah, and he almost got the edge, but that was Tay Harris coming in with the tackle. It's a great individual matchup right there. State championship track speed against one of the top safeties and DBs in the state.
So first and 10, ball at the 41-yard line. Richardson going to run it again. And Richardson going to get stopped in his tracks after just a gain of 1 or 2 yards on the play. But what I like about this is having an athlete at the quarterback position, a quarterback that's primarily just going to run the ball, is you take the play out of the equation. Most of the quarterbacks on your rosters are drop-back passing quarterbacks. That requires you executing a play from the blocking standpoint, from the pass route running standpoint. All of those things have to work to make that happen. When you got a quarterback that can take the snap and just take off and run, that can be a difference maker in a game like this.
Absolutely. And, man, state champion in the 400, that is a tough event right there. Practicing that each day.
So a timeout has been called. Didn't see who called the timeout, but the clock stops with 1:49. You know, it's hard to say, but, I mean, you really kind of get the sense that the Gold needs to get some points here.
Absolutely.
You know, when they got the field goal to start, took a 3-0 lead, you're like, okay, that's the right thing to do. But now you've given up 2 scores, 2 touchdowns. You got to go get yourself 6 somewhere.
Yep, we've seen some positive runs, but who's going to get them going in the passing game? Saw DJ Avery make a great catch earlier.
And I think that, you know, go back to the senior game that we called earlier. I mean, you saw the 14 quarterback sacks. Therein lies the problem. When you don't have a quarterback that can just get out there and run, you're going to rely on the passing game. You got to protect that quarterback before you can get the passing game going. Richardson's going to throw, lobs it in the middle, and nearly intercepted at the 20-yard line. That was Evan Whalen, out of Creekview, the Grizzlies. Nearly came up with the interception.
Yeah, that was closer than I thought. He was able to undercut the receiver, locate the ball, and almost make a spectacular play.
Now, as far as passing, Richardson was only 25 of 56 for the entire season. 423 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's the flip side of it. You lose something in the passing game when you get the quarterback in there that's the great runner. Of course, when you get the combination who has both pieces of that package, then you really got something. 3rd down and 8. Ball is fumbled, and Gold gets on top of it. The exchange between Richardson and Lafayette was never completed.
And it looks like Lafayette saying you pulled it out. See who
It's hard to tell with whom the blame lies right there. It really looked like it was never really a good connection. It wasn't so much that he pulled it out as it just went in there really hard and bounced off him. And again, it's amazing to me. I mean, these are the kind of plays that these teams run all the time, but they don't run them with these guys.
Exactly. I think in that situation, you want the ball to make contact with his stomach. And that one was kind of to the side, rushed a little bit. Lafayette's already looking to see where the hole is. Plus, it was a 3rd and long situation. I don't know how. I guess they were trying to treat it as 4-down territory, but instead they end up moving backwards. They're going to punt.
So Cody Cowan is going to punt it here. It's going to hit at the 39 and bounce backwards, and they finally stop it at the 40. So that's where the Blue will put the ball in play with 1:28 to go in the half and already leading by 11. Saw the kicker explaining he kicked it off the side of his foot.
Yeah, one of the few times normally you don't want it to bounce, but that one did take a little backwards bounce. Good field position. We'll see if they can pad this lead.
So Booknight's back in there at quarterback. Scrambling, backpedaling, throwing to the sideline. Nice skip out of the way by Pullum to avoid the tackle. And Pullum gets it across midfield all the way down to the 47.
Yeah, great open field move. Makes the defender miss. I don't even know if he got a hand on him. So he comes out of the backfield.
A good job by Booknight, too. Really patient despite the pressure. So 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Booknight, pump fake, comes to his right, directing receivers downfield, throws back in the middle of the field, and it was nearly intercepted.
That was Caden Thompson, the intended receiver. He was open on that one, but that's a difficult throw across your body, basically running full speed.
And Ogundele was the one who nearly got the interception. This is a dangerous pass. Whenever you do that, throw back across your body, back into the middle of the field. Booknight, heavy rush, quarterback sack at the 50. Came off the edge unblocked.
This is LaMarcus Parks Jr. from Cedar Grove, number 90. That's exactly what the gold team needed.
This team just won a state championship in 3A again. Big quarterback sack, drops the ball back to the 50-yard line. Now it's going to be 3rd and very long with just 1 minute left in the half. How about the job that Cedar Grove has done with that program, starting with Jimmy Smith, continue now John Adams. They just continue to win state championships in 3A.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And didn't get to see too much of them this year, but that Calvary Day game, oh my goodness. What a classic, what a battle that was to go out there and match them firepower to firepower, big play after big play. And then you knew once they got into the big game, they were not going to be denied.
Saw them early in the season when they went toe-to-toe with Westlake, a game that was not decided until the final play of the game. Booknight up top and nearly intercepted at the 32, nearly caught as well. Thompson was the target and nearly intercepted on that back line by Cooper, and it's going to be 4th down. So 54 seconds left in the half, and the Gold team going to get it back. And Roundtree stands at his 36 to take the snap and kick. Kicks it away from the return man. Going to kick out of bounds inside the 15. Going to spot it at the 14. And that's where the Gold will go back on offense. Can they get something together here in the final 44 seconds of the half?
Yep, and that was a good punt, I think. You don't want to give them any chance of the good field position. Don't want to get fancy. It was a good job kicking it out of bounds inside the 20 with not much time left.
So 26 yards rushing for the Gold in the first half and 37 yards passing. So a total of 63 yards of offense in this first half for the Gold. They've used 4 different quarterbacks. It looks like Brooks Bryan is going to head back out there. The other trouble that you encounter in an all-star game like this, when you rotate the quarterbacks, is a quarterback is such a rhythm position. It's hard for a quarterback to get into a rhythm when they're coming in and out of the game. Although Bryan delivered a strike over here on the sideline to Grant Thompson. And that'll get a first down for him. Stops the clock with 38 seconds to play in the half.
They have already kicked a field goal, so probably just trying to get into that territory.
So 1st and 10 from the 29. Cowan kicked a 38-yarder in the first quarter. Bryan, heavy rush, and he's going to go down back at the 29. Don't know if they'll get a quarterback sack on that as he was moving out of the pocket. But nonetheless, it's a big stop by the defense. It's going to be 3rd down. I'll make that 2nd down.
Yeah, tries to buy himself time. They do a good job closing in, gang tackling. Looks like that's number 45. Is that Christian Smith again?
Looks like it. Defensive end from the Harrison Hoyas. It looks like someone else called a timeout. I didn't see. I would assume that it would be the Gold team that called the timeout here. But they've had a hard time trying to get any offense going. $73 total yards on 20 plays, so averaging less than 3.7 yards per play. In the middle, it's caught at the 40-yard line, bounces off a tackle. Nice catch and run by Eric Ronning out of North Gwinnett.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. He took a big hit from Tay Harris, and he's able to stay on his feet and turn it into an even bigger play.
Bryan back to pass, quarterback sack.
That's
back at the 37-yard line. Don't see a flag dropped on the play. They might have missed it. That was just a heavy rush by the defensive line. Again, there's no blitzing in this game. They just collapsed the pocket that the offensive line was trying to establish. So that puts the ball back at the 38. Let's see who got there first. Looks like it was number 91, Caden Russell. So now 2nd down and long. They got to get to the 46 to pick up the first down. Of course, time is of the essence here. That's not really important to them as the clock is down to 4 seconds left in the half. So time for a Hail Mary heave.
That was Jacoby Diamond on that last sack. Cedartown, number 91.
Ball is thrown downfield, and it is going to be incomplete at the 22. Yes, thank you. That was Diamond on the blue roster, not Russell on the gold roster. And that's halftime here at Barron Stadium. The blue on top of the gold, 14-3 here in Rome. The Georgia Elite Classic will continue. Halftime is coming up next.
It was 4 days, and he was going to kill me, it's believed, on the day that I was rescued.
At Investigate TV Plus, every day we go in depth.
How do you process that?
With investigations that expose the truth.
Is this a nationwide issue that we're dealing with here?
With real people.
This is not you.
It's not me.
Facing real problems.
We thought, oh, well, they're going to let her go.
Revealing real-life solutions that keep your family safe.
It will save lives, no doubt about it.
Investigate TV Plus. Check local listings at investigatetv.com.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez. It is going to be a cold night across North and Middle Georgia. South Georgia is going to feel that chill as well. Even some flurries possible in the North Georgia mountains, especially those highest elevations as we head through the late evening and overnight hours. Saturday morning, you may see a little bit of accumulating snow on those grassy surfaces of the North Georgia mountains. Otherwise, we've got a great day ahead on Saturday before clouds start to build in late Sunday. Certainly we'll see some clouds on New Year's Eve. For tonight, it will be cold. Temperatures in the mid to low 30s across North and Middle Georgia, but even along the coast, we're dropping to the mid to upper 30s. Then as we head through the day on Saturday, temperatures will be in the 40s and 50s, right around 52 in Macon, only mid 40s in Atlanta.
The BSN Sports Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. Electrify your career. Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Gatorade. Fuel tomorrow. Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move. And by the Georgia Army National Guard. The next generation is now.
For the Junior Hornets, and yes, Roswell Recreation and Parks is part of my past. That's how I got involved years and years ago with BSN Sports when they represented us. And I.J. Rosenberg and I had connected after about 20 years after his relationship there. And here we are doing our third or fourth year doing this now together with the jerseys and the apparel for the coaches and the different things that you see out here that they're wearing. But, yeah, it's just been awesome to see these kids come from a young age and come out here and play football. Today's been great watching, all the different age groups. But this one is happening right now is the juniors. They're out here to play.
Yeah, they're not. And thank you so much, Jerry, for coming on today and being our host for the halftime show. We're going to go ahead and toss it the break and be back on the other side for the rest of the halftime.
Thank you, Najee.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Hendrick.
Drive now, pay later. Shop HendrickCars.com this month and make no payments for 90 days. Over 20,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. No payments for 90 days. Visit HendrickCars.com.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Welcome back. It's halftime at Barron Stadium in Rome, Georgia. The Georgia Elite Classic, the Junior All-Star Game. The Blue leading the gold 14-3. Matt Stewart along Craig Sager Jr. And I think what we've seen here, you've kind of seen the residuals, the results of 3 days of practice, and just not a lot of continuity on the offense, at least for the gold team.
That's right. So they strike first, get the field goal. Blue teams comes back 14 unanswered. But to me, the blue team's been more balanced offensively. They've established both the run and the pass. And then with the gold, they're rotating quarterbacks. They really haven't gotten one guy going yet. But we'll see what happens in the second half. Only 3 completions at this point, and they're going to have to pass their way back into this.
So the numbers bear that out, Craig, as we take a look at the halftime stats presented by the U.S. Army and Georgia National Guard. You see the balance in the offense for the blue side. 83 rushing, 72 passing, 155 total, and just 82 yards total offense for the gold team. And 0 for 4 on third down conversions. So they're just not, number one, not producing a lot of offense. When they have to, move the chains, they're not able to do that either.
That's right. And I'm looking at the stats right now for the gold team. So Brooks Bryans, he's 3 of 5. Richardson, he came in 0 of 1. Ian Reynolds has not attempted a pass yet.
Yeah, no, I have him down for 0 for 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I have him, so, and he hasn't played that much. And I think, here is the conundrum you run into if you're the coach for the gold, you're Boo Mitchell, is that these guys all got to play. I mean, that's part of the attraction. No one wants to come up here and practice for a week after Christmas and then not get in the All-Star game. So you as a coach feel compelled to get playing time. And it's a lot easier at the positional positions than it is at the quarterback position. Because when you're changing out quarterbacks, in the game, it's no different than in the regular season. It impacts continuity and flow of offense.
That's right. And I think Ian's going to probably get the first possession of the second half just based off the numbers because he took the fewest out of the quarterback rotation. But, on the other side, I'm really impressed with the blue team. Javin Parker, Walker Warshaw, Booknight has looked really good.
Yeah. Booknight's 4 of 8 for 43 yards, has 20 yards rushing on 3 carries. So you're looking at 63 yards of total offense for Chance Booknight, the junior quarterback out of East Spalding. And, Walker Warshaw out of Mount Vernon playing, the smallest classification, in the state of Georgia. He's made the big plays. His stats cumulatively are not that big, but all of his big plays all of his plays have been big plays, is perhaps the way I should say it.
That's right. He had the big fourth down conversion, the great play design on the touchdown. And with him, I mean, he's so shifty. It seems like the versatility is huge with him. He can come out of the backfield. He can line up in the slot. He's catching it in traffic. Been really impressed.
All right, it's halftime. We're going to come back and start the third quarter in Rome right after this timeout.
How would you like to do something really different one weekend a month?
Charlie 2-2, this is Charlie 2-1.
Thank you, Sergeant.
If you've got what it takes, come join us.
To learn more about the State Defense Force, go to GeorgiaVolunteer.com.
Just like on the field, strategy is key.
You don't step onto the field without a game plan. It's the same when you're fighting for justice. Go Big Injury Law has a playbook to win. They won't drop the ball when it comes to fighting for your right.
Contact us today and let us show you what it means to have a winning team on your side.
Oh my gosh!
World Chase Tag is the Pro League tournament for the planet's most intense new game, which takes the art of being hunted down to a whole new level. It is relentless and fiercely intense, with a chaser having just 20 seconds to get a hand on an invader.
He's done it! He has done it!
And there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Tuesdays at 7 on Peachtree Sports Network.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Georgia Elite Classic as we head to the third quarter here in Rome. The blue on top of the gold in the Junior All-Star game, and we'll have one more All-Star game to come at 7 o'clock as the sophomore All-Stars take on the freshman All-Stars. That should be a really interesting game, Craig. A lot of young talent, a lot of that talent already being recruited heavily.
Absolutely, and when I look at that sophomore roster with Brody McCorder at quarterback and the amount of targets he has in this game, I think that might be the highest scoring one we see today.
You heard the big cheer as Cody Mitchell, the massive offensive tackle from Prince Avenue, was back to receive the kickoff. So that's one of the things they like to do here in the Georgia Elite Classic is since the kickoffs aren't live, they give the offensive lineman a chance to make the catch on the kickoff. And Cody Mitchell, 6'3", 280, did it to perfection.
Now he's back in the trenches.
Yeah, man, look, how about the bookends they have on that Prince Avenue offensive line with Atha and Mitchell, Luke Parker in there at quarterback, and a fire to the outside, out to the 35-yard line it goes. And that's Grant Cook, wide receiver out of Roswell, making his first catch of the game. Saw his quarterback of the past year, K.J. Smith, play for the Gold in the Senior All-Star game.
So it's now 5 different guys we've seen catch passes for the blue team.
2nd down and 6. Handoff and a first down run for Javen Parker. Up to the 45-yard line. 45-yard line. Javen Parker, the run.
Yep, great job polling by Jake Atha, big number 77. He's able to get out in front, easy yards.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 45-yard line. Parker's now the leading rusher in the game. Parker now 6 carries, 29 yards. Warshaw gets his 2nd carry of the game. Make that his 3rd carry of the game. Puts him up over 20 yards rushing. 2nd down and 7. Nice start to this third quarter opening drive for the Blue. To the outside it goes. Nice catch and spin move. Still on his feet. And down the sideline to the 29-yard line, Grant Cook. Second catch of the series, and a big one at that.
Yep, starting to get him involved. Makes a great play on the sideline.
Roswell team that got to the state semifinals again this past year.
Yeah, one of the highest scoring teams we saw last season for sure.
So 1st and 10, ball is at the 28. Pocket breaking down, fumble as the ball pops out, and the Gold has recovered. C.J. Kelly out of Carrollton.
So you can see 42, Amarius Purdue from Troop. He knocks it out, and then C.J. Kelly's able to pick it up and stop this opening drive of the second half.
So that's Amarius Purdue, the Troop Tiger, as you mentioned, with the strip, and then it was C.J. Kelly coming up with the loose ball.
Some West Georgia greatness on that play.
No doubt about it, and gets the ball back. That's great news. The Gold team really needs something out of their defense right there because the Gold team was being pushed down the field by the Blue again. They had reached the 33, threatening to score, so 1st and 10 for the Gold, and Brooks Bryan will start the third quarter as the quarterback. Right up the middle, the carry by Jamari Welch, Athens Academy. Second carry for him in the game. Picked up 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. Still plenty of time for the Gold to get back in this. They've just got to develop some continuity. Get a rhythm going on offense. Instead of getting 3, they need 4 on first down. 4 or 5. Give yourself something to work with in the playbook. Play action. Up top it goes from Bryan and broken up. Trying to drop it in there to DJ Avery, who had a big catch earlier in the game. And good coverage downfield by the Blue. That was Jarvis Washington out of Rutland who broke it up.
It's a pure 50-50. We'll see if he's able to get a hand on it to dislodge it. Yep, that's a very catchable pass right there. One that he probably hauls in the majority of the time.
And Craig, just a great job by Jarvis Washington right there, just to swipe down on the ball and knock it out when it got in his hands, because he was beat on the play.
Yep.
But he recovered to make a play, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 7. See the defense flip-flopping sides of the field. Emmanuel Clark going on to the other side, the linebacking spot. Going for the home run ball again, and this time it's caught at the 31-yard line by Eric Ronnie.
Yep, he had a nice play in the first half, and that's another great catch by him. And I feel like what the yellow team's doing, they're throwing away from Tay Harris. Tay's been on this side. That's back-to-back plays. They've gone deep, but there is a flag down, it looks like.
This time, Jarvis Washington was not able to recover and swipe the ball out, but a very similar play. They just went right back to the same well. Looks like it's going to retreat here. Got a penalty against the Gold.
We haven't seen many flags, so.
Personal foul, defense. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Doug Prather is your referee. Here's a look at the rest of the officials, brought to you by IBEW Local 613. So let's see where they end up spotting the ball. Looks like it's going to be the... Well, they're still marching it off. All the way down to the 15-yard line.
So that was like a 50-yard gain. I think they called targeting.
Yeah, they did. So first down, and let's see. It's 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Sticks, can't count on the sticks there. I was looking at the sticks. They got it all wrong. Handoff goes to Kobe Robinson. First carry of the game for Kobe Robinson, running back out of Norcross. 5'6", 156 junior. Norcross always seems to have a stable of running backs. They usually got 2 or 3 at a time. All of them different caliber and types of running backs. So they got one for each occasion, whatever play you need.
I was impressed with their offensive production this year because they lost a lot of big names,
Yep,
but they
the
did
wide
not
receiver
seem to
spot. They lost 3 Power 5 wide receivers. 2nd down and 10. In the middle and broken up at the 2-yard line. Flag out. Grant Thompson was the intended target.
See if Tay Harris might have gotten there a hair early. Definitely a bang play. Ooh, I don't know about that angle.
It looks like it looks like he got there when the ball got there. There's Tay Harris.
Pass interference, defense.
7.5.
That's a tough one right there. You can hear the referee, Doug Prather, say 7.5-yard mark off. So it's going to be 2nd down and ball sitting at the 8. 7.5 maybe. Got to get to the 5. Best touchdown opportunity so far in this game for Gold. 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Score here gets them right back in the game. Down to the 5, close to the 1st down on that carry. Tommy Lafayette seems to have it, seems to think that he's got it, and he does. 1st and goal to go. From the 5, Lafayette played for Lambert this past season, transferred to North Gwinnett for his senior season. Toss goes to Lafayette, cut back and dives forward to the 3.
Lafayette just down to the 3-yard line.
Couple of yards on the play for Lafayette, who's now got 10 carries for 18 yards.
Yeah, all hard-earned yards. They're trying to get it to pay off, though. They need that touchdown. Get them back in this game.
So 2nd down and goal from the 3 as Brooks Bryan trots in from the sideline with the play call. Quarterback from Bethlehem Christian, 6'1", 195. Lafayette lines up in the backfield. Agunlele also lines up off center. Now runs up in the hole. Lafayette's going to follow him into the hole, and that's a touchdown for the goal. Lafayette scores. You saw 29, the linebacker, Tayo Agunlele, run right up into the hole, and Lafayette followed him.
Yep, so there are a couple penalties on that, the big passing play, but still great drive by the Gold team. Physical runs, and that'll be a big confidence boost for them moving forward.
Yeah, so it's 14-9. And they'll go for the single point right here with Cody Cowan. And the kick is up and good. It's 14-10. So first touchdown of the day for the Gold. Nice drive, 67-yard touchdown drive for the Gold right there. Comes with Bryan at quarterback. He's been the most effective of the 4 quarterbacks they've used as you take a look at the Georgia Army National Guard touchdown drive, 4:16 off the clock as well, as Lafayette picks up his first score of the day. Lafayette's one of these guys, full speed guys. Former coach Mark Beach, said, look, he's 100 miles an hour, everything he does. He's one of those kind of guys that got a backing down at practice.
Yeah, and he's a total gym rat as well, always in the weight room.
So the kickoff will now put the ball at the 30 for the Blue. So a little bit different game now that the Gold has gotten that touchdown on the board. Blue can't just sit back. They're going to have to be aggressive on offense.
Looks like we'll get to see Ethan Long again at quarterback. Dalton, QB, number 8.
So Long going to hand off to Pullum from Adairsville. Big run for Pullum. Amarian Pullum across the 40. He might go the difference. A stiff arm at the end of the play and a touchdown by Pullum. Jamarian Pullum. Big touchdown run. And the Blue gets it back right away.
Man, what a play. He's producing big ones already. Making a guy miss right there. And then once he gets outside, one final cut. And he turned it on. I mean, that is an extra gear he had.
How about the stiff arm right there? He actually had 2 of those on that long touchdown run. And it's 20-10. Just like that, the Blue reestablishes their 11-point lead. PAT by Roundtree is up and good, 21-10. So the 4-point deficit didn't last long. 70-yard touchdown run by Jamarian Pullum.
Yeah, probably the biggest play we've seen so far today in any of the ball games. But that was just pure speed and impressive stiff arms.
Your Georgia Army National Guard scoring summary. Can't really call it a drive. It was more of a summary. One play, 70 yards. Jamarian Pullum with the most spectacular individual play of the game. That's got to be a little bit of a kick in the gut for the Gold team after they'd worked so hard. They put together a nice long drive. 67-yard drive to get their first touchdown of the day, get back to within 4 points, and then Jamarian Pullum gets it all right back in 14 seconds.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to even energize the Blue defense on this next possession.
So the kick comes down inside the 10. They'll bring it out to the 30. So maybe you know IJ and Rusty fairly well, right?
Yes.
Okay. We both do. I'm just saying that to start the conversation. So I got a rule proposal for the Georgia Elite Classic on the kickoffs. We know they're not going to be live kickoffs, right? No, that's not. So wherever the ball is fielded, you add 30 yards instead of automatically putting it at the 30. So if you catch the ball at the 5, you're going to get it at the 35. Does put a little bit of an emphasis and premium on kicking the ball into the end zone. So if you kick it into the end zone, you're going to get it at the 30, which is what you're getting right now. Put a little pressure on the kickers.
True.
What do you think?
Maybe 20, 25. You think?
Well,
30?
I mean, they're getting it at the 30 either way. So that's why I said 30. So I'm all for the 20-yard rule too. But I mean, right now, whatever you do, you're still getting it at the 30.
Yeah, that is a little bizarre that no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be some kind of a sliding scale on how far the kicker actually kicks it. Right now, it's the only play in the game where there's no premium on the play. It's just kind of an exhibition play. This way, from wherever you kick it, wherever it hits, going to tack on 30 yards. So 1st and 10 with the ball sitting at the 42. Pass is thrown out here and incomplete. Eric Ronning again with another catch. He's got 3 catches in the game.
There's a good job up front by that offensive line, establishing the pocket, giving them time to deliver another strike.
So 2nd down, he picked up 8 on the play. Ian Reynolds in there at quarterback. That was his first completion of the game, I believe. His second. He's now 2 of 3. Handoff up the middle. That'll be a 1st down run for Lafayette down to the 48. Lafayette now 11 carries, goes up over 20 yards.
Nick Chow on the stop for the blue team.
So 1st and 10 at the 48. I think it's just tough as an offense when you have a quarterback. Now, and certainly Reynolds is a guy that can take off and run. But if you have a quarterback with limited mobility, it's going to be hard in a game like this because you really got to protect him. It's hard to put together long developing plays on the money and missed him. Wow. Grant Thompson, who is his North Atlanta teammate, missed him.
Yeah, and Grant had him beat by a few yards. Great route, just throws it a little too inside, doesn't lead him enough.
2nd down and 10. They could have gotten 6 right there. Really easy. And that's an example where we can't blame on the timing thing. They're North Atlanta teammates.
Yep, and I still think the Gold, they are avoiding throwing it to Tay Harris' side.
So 2nd down and 10, ball at the 48. Reynolds being chased. Quarterback sacked back at the 43-yard line by Christian Smith.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. He's been playing outstanding. It's a big sack on that play. Is that going to bring up a 4th down now? No, it'll be 3rd down. Yeah, I'm really impressed. The combination of Jacoby Diamond and Christian Smith getting after the quarterback, they've been very impressive on that defense.
So Reynolds trots in from the sideline with a play call, now facing a 3rd and 17. Approaching 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Got to get to the other 39. Ball sitting on their own 44. Reynolds in the middle. Intercepted at the 33-yard line by KT Thompson. The Cherokee Bluff star who started the week on the gold roster, now on the blue roster, flips the script on his brief former teammates.
And he's posing for the camera. Well, good for him. That was a great read. He's right there, doesn't let the receiver get behind him. He knows it's 3rd and long, gets the interception, and a nice little return afterwards. The blue team is cruising.
Big interception for KT Thompson. Stops the drive for the gold and sets up the offense to do something with it. Like I said, saw him in the Corky Kell Classic. Wasn't a great game for his Cherokee Bluff Bears that day playing up against the 7A West Forsyth, but I was impressed with him. He's so athletic. He's even their backup quarterback.
Yeah, that was a obviously tough matchup for them, but you could tell there were some players on that Cherokee Bluff team that were able to spark the big plays in a very tough matchup. And I know Coach Jones enjoyed that interception right there.
That was Javin Parker on the run. Ethan Long now in there at quarterback. And you kind of get the sense right here as we go under 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. If the Blue can score right here off this possession, they can really drive a stake through the Gold's chances. Handoff goes to Parker again. Bounces off a tackle and down to the 26. That'll move the sticks and a first down.
Great run, and we're seeing I think they replaced the entire offensive line on this series. Jake Ath is on the sideline. So Blue is showing that depth they have on that offensive line.
That was the 14th first down for the Blue in this game. Long to the air, might have been tipped. And it ends up, do they count that as a catch or an incompletion? Ball goes to Joshua Folks. They're going to say he caught it. For a small pickup. Yeah, the ball was tipped at the line. And that might have been the final play of the third quarter, and it was, as the clock winds down to 0. Heading to the fourth quarter in Rome, the Junior All-Star game here in the Georgia Elite Classic. Blue on top, 21-10, and driving with the ball when we get back.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez. It is going to be a cold night across North and Middle Georgia. South Georgia is going to feel that chill as well. Even some flurries possible in the North Georgia mountains, especially those highest elevations as we head through the late evening and overnight hours. Saturday morning, you may see a little bit of accumulating snow on those grassy surfaces of the North Georgia mountains. Otherwise, we've got a great day ahead on Saturday before clouds start to build in late Sunday. Certainly we'll see some clouds on New Year's Eve. For tonight, it will be cold. Temperatures in the mid to low 30s across North and Middle Georgia, but even along the coast, we're dropping to the mid to upper 30s. Then as we head through the day on Saturday, temperatures will be in the 40s and 50s, right around 52 in Macon, only mid 40s in Atlanta.
I'm attorney Dr. Rod Edmond at Edmond & Lindsey. We focus on medical malpractice and wrongful death cases. Our law firm has won large monetary recoveries for our clients. Results like $6 million for a wrongful death case, $4.3 million for a medical malpractice case, $5 million in a jury verdict for wrongful death, and many others. If you're a victim of medical negligence or have lost a loved one due to another's fault, call us today at 404-525-1080. Edmond & Lindsey, when I'm sorry is not enough.
The BSN Sports Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by the Corky Kell and Dave Hunter Classic, the official kickoff to Georgia high school football, the Mechanical Trades Institute, the best-kept secret everyone should know about, the Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association, careersinsheetmetal.com, building a solid future, the Georgia High School Football Media Day, Georgia's largest celebration of high school football, National Signing Day Frenzy, a celebration of Georgia high school football seniors, and by the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Georgia's newest football tradition.
Start of the fourth quarter in Rome, Barron Stadium, the Junior All-Star game, blue on top of gold. Matt Stewart, Craig Sager Jr., and the blue with it as we start this fourth quarter. Long goes to the end zone, had a man out there, but miscommunication because the wide receiver was barely in the same area code as he was trying to connect with Joshua Folks. So that's going to bring up third down and 8.
Yeah, this is when they want the knockout punch. They've had a great drive going. that play obviously wasn't designed. Tried to make something out of nothing. Falls incomplete.
Long going to come to this side with it, complete to Idom. Charlie Idom with his first catch.
That was Macklin Sanders, number 4 from Ola. Flying in there, busting up the screen, making the big tackle.
Of course, that was incomplete. Or was it complete? They ruled that a completion. They actually lost yardage on the play, I think. So 4th down, they're going to try a long field goal here. Roundtree. This will be a 41-yard kick from the right hash. That pass was complete to Idom. It was actually a loss of a yard on the play. So the snap back and the kick by Roundtree is going to be no good. So he comes up short on a 41-yard attempt, and the score remains 21-10. You talked a few moments ago, Craig, about the knockout punch. Well, they missed it right there. Gold stays in the game.
Yeah, they tried to be aggressive, tried to make a play in the end zone. But once again, I mean, coming up empty, that is tough, and definitely a sign of life for the Gold team. But definitely got to credit Macklin Sanders on that tackle, forcing them into that 4th and long. And every yard mattered on that kick.
Yep. Yeah, I would have preferred maybe go a little less aggressive on that 2nd down call, maybe get 3 yards, make it a 3rd and 5, and then be aggressive on the 3rd and 5. And now you're a little bit closer in case you fail and you got a better field goal opportunity.
Absolutely. 41 yards, that is quite a distance.
Especially with a cold football. And it is a cold football as the temperatures are going down into the high 30s here. It was 43 at kickoff. That football gets like a rock. Lafayette with the run, picks up a couple of yards on the play on the toss sweep.
Lafayette on a carry. Matthew Griner in on the stop.
So 2nd down and 7 coming up. Dylan Muhammad back in there at quarterback. He has not seen a lot of action today. I don't think he's been credited with a pass attempt yet. Muhammad now goes to the air, and it's complete at the 38. That'll move the sticks, and a big 1st down throw by Muhammad as he connects with DJ Avery.
And that was a really nice route. Sold the go route, stops quickly, good timing, and a great pass by Dylan Muhammad.
You know, and Muhammad got pigeonholed a little bit in some people's minds as he's the throwing quarterback. Well, when Norcross wants to throw, they go to Muhammad, and they use Watkins as a wide receiver or a running back. But that's not true. I mean, he's much more than that. He can also run the ball. He's a very athletic quarterback in addition to his passing ability.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I mean, that offense did phenomenal this year. I think it's back-to-back seasons. They're averaging close to 40 points a game. They set the school record last year.
Case in point right there, Muhammad now running the ball, throws a stiff arm, goes to the other side, runs into his offensive lineman, and gets to the 42-yard line on the play. A lot of running to pick up about 3.5, 4 yards.
Yeah, looks like he collided with big Tyler Oglesby from Jefferson.
Tyler Oglesby. It's been a good deal of this season blocking for Sammy Brown, player of the year in the state, headed to Clemson. We're going to see his little brother, if you will, Max, play linebacker for the freshman team coming up in our next game. Second down from the 42. Muhammad to the air, starting to click here on offense with Muhammad slinging the ball. short completion goes to Avery, the wide receiver out of Chattahoochee. 5'11", 170-pounder. And you got to figure a game like this is big for a player like DJ Avery. It's been a long time since the Cougars have had success on the football field. To be able to get out here, be recognized as a top talent in the state, even though your team didn't have a great season. And Avery's looked good today. 3 catches for 58 yards. Ball at the 48. Muhammad going to run it now. And Muhammad gets dragged down at the 45. And that's going to be close.
Brought down by
Bryson Cockrell, DB from LaGrange. It was a very difficult tackle because he had a block sealed on the outside on Tay Harris. We know the explosive running ability of Dylan Muhammad.
So second down, let's call it, it's more than one. I think they got to get to the 42. It's hard to tell. We had a little inconsistency with the chain gang today,
to say the least.
Muhammad back to pass, goes deep, and jump ball, and caught by Avery. And out of bounds at the 11. What a catch by DJ Avery. Muhammad hangs it up there and says, go get it, buddy.
Yep, he's about 3 of 4 from what I've seen on these 50-50 balls. He had one that he didn't capitalize on. That one might have been even more challenging, and that is a heck of a catch.
There is no doubt the Gold team has found a little something here with Dylan Muhammad late in this third quarter, now into this fourth quarter. But time working against them. They got to score quickly here, get the ball back. There's no provision for onside kick, although it'd be too early for that anyway. Handoff goes to Lafayette, carrying the ball with his left hand, left arm, and lunges forward, rolls over his own man down to the 3-yard line. Goes Dylan Muhammad, or make that Tommy Lafayette.
Oh, we got some extracurriculars happening right now. But another great tackle by Bryson Cockrell on that play. Touchdown saving tackle potentially.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. You want to see some good sportsmanship in the All-Star game. But, hey, after all, it is football. And they've been colliding and banging helmets and blocking each other and tackling each other for the last 2+ hours. Sometimes feelings get hurt.
Yep, as long as we're keeping it family-friendly in the stands and on the field.
So I didn't see what happened here, but the Gold player with his jersey, his shoulder pads outside his jersey, I imagine he was part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the play went to the other side. It was like a sweep off to the left, and on the other side of the end zone, we see some pushing and shoving. So we'll see where this lands.
Personal foul, defense. Dead ball, personal foul, offense. Penalties offset, down counts.
Penalties are offsetting.
Second down. Second and goal.
So second down and goal coming up after the offsetting personal foul penalties. There he is. You see he's got his shoulder pads outside. That probably didn't happen by accident. That's the aforementioned Tyler Oglesby. You were just talking about him a few moments ago. Second down and goal, ball sitting inside the 4-yard line. Muhammad going to run it again, bobbled it, ball comes out, and I think the Blues recovered. You could see as he was going into the line, he did not have a firm grasp of the football. And if this, maybe looks like Lafayette comes out of the pile with it. He might have just saved their bacon.
And that might have been Matthew Griner, big winder barrow defender, a hit on this play. And yes, it was bobbled from the get-go.
Yeah, they're going to say blue ball, so 84 was able to get on top of that. Brian Allen, the cornerback out of East Paulding. So
looks like a challenge flag's out there.
So it has been challenged. Call on the field has been challenged by Boo Mitchell, head coach for the Gold. And you need to, because we're down to 5:40 to go. If you just cough the ball up inside the 5, see, he never had a firm grasp on it. Takes the big hit when he gets to the line. And so the question is, who falls on top of it? I thought blue right there. Looks like to me Allen's on top of it. You know, Lafayette got in there in the pile and maybe wrestled it away. But if Allen's on top of it, and he's down. So he's on top of the ball and down. And I think Lafayette just got in there and wrestled it away, but I think it's after the fact. Yeah, I think that's going to be the blue team's ball. And don't want to say that ends their hopes, but it's going to make it very, very difficult if indeed the blue retains possession. Looks like they do.
Yeah, you usually don't review who comes out of the pile. It's either forward progress, was he down? So that was kind of a no-brainer. Big play for the blue team and a tough break.
Dead ball, personal foul on goal. Blue recovered. We're going to go 15 yards. There's going to be first down.
So, didn't see now whether that penalty on goal came as part of the fumble recovery process, or did that come after the fact and the indication by the officials of the blue.
Timeout.
So Gold loses the timeout with the challenge. So the Blues got the ball, 5:40 to go. If they can put together a running game here, they can close this one out.
Blue team will have the ball first and 10 to 21.
And Booknight's back in there, quarterback. Let's see if they can get into a 4-minute offense here. Booknight going to run it to the outside, and Booknight out of bounds at the 25.
Booknight on the carry, run out of bounds by number 14, Kyle O'Brien.
Pretty impressive night for Booknight. 4 of 8, 43 yards passing, 3 carries, 20 yards prior to that run right there. He's really been a spark plug for this blue team.
Absolutely, and I really think East Paulding's going to be a tough team this upcoming season. They've been really getting better and better.
I think, what were they? Were they a 3 seed coming out of their region this year? I think so. Yep. Second down and 6, playing in a tough region. Of course, all that is up in the air again. I know they've set the regions. I haven't put them to memory yet, or the classifications. That'll be a whole nother process for us, Craig, during the offseason, is to memorize the regions and the classifications again. We go through this process every couple of years, and right when you finally have committed to memory what region and classification a team is in, they go and turn it upside down again.
Yeah, this one's a lot different, though. You can have the power rating system.
And that will come into play just for the 1A, 2A, 3A private playoffs.
That's right.
Still not sure how all that's going to work. I mean, I know how it's going to work, but it's a tough thing because you're going to be playing a region schedule. Say you're a 3A team, you're playing a region schedule against 3A teams, but then when you go into the playoffs, you're going to be playing against teams of different classifications.
Right. No, very interesting.
So what you've done in the region really doesn't matter a whole lot. They're going to have to walk that fine line to figure out how to incorporate what you did in your region along with power rankings.
That's right, because in the past, you calculate if you play up a classification, it ends up getting divided by 10, but that does benefit you more. But as you said, once they get into the playoffs, you have Class 3A teams, Class A teams. Call a timeout with 3:09 left. 4th and 4, 4th and 3, 4th and 4.
Yeah, because, you got to decide what you're going to do here. The smart thing to do is punt. The coach inside of you says, okay, let's get 3 yards and put the game to bed. But somewhere in there, reason should kick in, and you're going to say, but if we don't get it, we give them a short field and we open the door for them to potentially get back in this game and maybe even sneak out of here with a win. So you got to do the smart thing and punt.
Yeah, and I think with 3 minutes left, a turnover or getting stopped here and giving up a quick touchdown, that's pretty much the only way you could allow Gold to get back in.
Yeah, just kick it deep.
Yep.
Make them drive the field. There's not going to be a return on the punt. So there's no risk of, giving up the long punt return. As you mentioned, there is no onside kick option in this game. So, even if they score, they still got to find a way to get the ball back. Don't make it easy for them by going for it on 4th and 4 in your own end and giving them a short field. Punt hits at the 48 and gets banged around, and they got a nice 10-yard hop out of that because they were playing deep on the return. So they get the ball at the 43. They got 57 yards to go to get a score, and then somehow they got to get the ball back and get another score.
We saw Caden Thompson come up with a big interception previously. See if they can ice the game once again with a big turnover. Also interested to see how Christian Smith finishes what's already been a fantastic game for him.
Yeah, Christian Smith, probably the leader for defensive MVP, has a sack and a half, also has 6 total tackles and a TFL. Been a strong performance by him on the defensive side for the blue team today. And we got a number of candidates on the offensive side certainly to consider, to also include the MVP, overall MVP honors. Pullum had the big 70-yard touchdown run, I think, which was kind of a backbreaker for the Gold team after they'd cut it to 14-10. Very next play, he goes 70 yards. Warshaw, not a whole lot of plays statistically, but all of his plays have been big plays. I think Booknight has been a spark for them offensively, too. So a lot of guys to consider. 2nd down and 10. Going up top and intercepted over the shoulder, then dropped.
I thought that was it, and he might have taken it to the house just because.
Tay Harris turned it into a wide receiver right there.
You see just why they haven't been going to his side of the field. He almost hauls it in over the shoulder.
Well, see, he was already thinking, I need to turn around and head back the other way. You're right. He was thinking big return right there. And didn't get the handle on the football. So 3rd down and 10 coming up. Got the sophomores and the juniors coming up. I mean, it was sophomores and the freshmen. We got the juniors right here. Sophomore and the freshmen. And Rusty Mansell, after he got something to eat, took a nap, he's going to be ready to go for our final game of the day.
How about Kamari Farmer in that game? Carrollton's running back.
Love it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at our Gatorade Most Valuable Player of the game. It's going to be Jamari Pullum, who had that 70-yard touchdown run. I think that one single play more than anything else really kind of kicked the Gold in the gut after they'd scored and made it 14-10, and he snatched it right back with that long touchdown.
That included 2 stiff arms also.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was a huge play. Very impressive.
Jamarian Pullum of Adairsville, our MVP of the game, will also announce an offensive and defensive most outstanding player as well.
Uh-oh.
And play of the game. It's presented by Smart Local 85. This is the play we were talking about that earned Jamarian Pullum those MVP honors.
The final stiff arm.
This is the best one right here. Bam! Get off me. Then he broke the tape at the end. Nicely done, young man. You're the Gatorade MVP.
Personal foul, defense.
But that was just such a single big play because you felt like the Gold had momentum. They'd put together, I think it was like a 7-plus play, 67-yard drive. They finally had things clicking on offense. They're thinking we're back in the game. It's 14-10. And
all right, 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
And time now to take a look at our offensive Gatorade player of the game, and that's Walker Warshaw. Had 4 carries for 26 yards, had 2 receptions for 25 yards, including an 11-yard touchdown catch for the Blues' first touchdown of the day. And I tell you what, he was like, hey, just saw it on the board, just saw on the big board that he's the offensive player of the game. How about that? Celebrate. Yeah, I mean, he just had big play after big play in this game.
Absolutely. We saw him do it all, coming out of the backfield, making big catches in traffic. But I think the defensive attention that a guy like him is going to attract in the upcoming seasons is huge because he can just move all over the field. Great route running. Just a very explosive player.
In addition to that 11-yard touchdown catch, remember first half is a big 4th down conversion, and he comes up and converts on a big 4th down to keep a drive alive. And Christian Smith, our Gatorade defensive player of the game, what a game for Christian Smith today. Had a sack and a half, 6 total tackles, and a TFL. Just a super performance for Christian Smith, the defensive lineman out of Harrison. Going to the air and caught for the touchdown. Gold not going quietly here.
North Atlanta, that is Grant Thompson finally making that big play.
So Brooks Bryan in there, the Bethlehem Academy quarterback, Christian Academy quarterback, drops it right in there over the shoulder. We know the timeout situation here. I'm looking to see if I have an indicator anywhere on our score page, because that's going to be critical as to whether the Gold can actually get the ball back or not. They got to have. They don't have all 3 timeouts.
They definitely don't, because I think they lost a timeout on that challenge that failed.
That's right. So, with there being no onside kick in play, so Rusty Mansell has just sat down here. He's going to be working the freshman and sophomore game. Rusty, we got to have some kind of component for onside kick, and I've got a rule change for you on the kickoff, so we'll talk about it later. So Cody Cowan, who's had an active day, looks like he's a little bit lame coming off the field. So down to 97 seconds. The Blue goes back on offense. And I believe you're right. They have at least or no more than 2 timeouts remaining, if not less than that. Booknight in there at quarterback, going to run it right up the middle. And he gets hammered to the ground. And then he goes right back at him, and now things are getting a little chippy. Clock continues to run, and there's no way for the goal to stop it. So the Blue just about in position here where they can knee this out. And the Blues going to win it 21-17. Got the beef in there in the backfield now just to kind of protect the quarterback. It's Jacoby Diamond out of Cedartown. And now they got Tay Harris in there to play Wildcat quarterback. I'm guessing he's not just in there to take a knee. Tay Harris going to be driven back. And that might have been our final play of this junior all-star game. 21-17 the final here. The Blue beats the Gold. And we have one more game to go here at Barron Stadium in Rome. Should be a fun one. Sophomores and freshmen coming up next. Thanks, Craig Sager Jr. He'll step out. Rusty Mansell will step in. We'll have one more game to go here in Rome.
This is a Peachtree